Garbage guy, old stories hit high, tells of struggle and strife. Keep your head in the fight. Broken bones in the street, ain't no place for the weak. From the land of the brave, where the words cut deep. Coming next on the air now, feel the despair. Generation X, shout out, shattered somewhere. Rising up from the dark with a fire and spark. Rage and passion combined to leave a lasting mark. Coming next, shouting loud, voices from the crowd. Through the mist of...
All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Common X, the only show where Gen X refuses to grow up, refuses to shut up, and refuses to stop asking. What the hell happened to common sense? I'm Ian, and sitting across from me, fresh off another rant about gas prices and lawnmowers that don't start, is my co-pilot, my partner in chaos, Jared Mazak.
What's up?
Yeah, man, and today we've got a guy whose comedy has been melting the internet faster than an ice cream cone at a Trump rally. He's one of the funniest impressionists online right now. Ladies and gentlemen, the king himself, Mr. Matt King. What's up, dude?
Hello. What's up, everybody? How's it going?
All right, Matt. Dude, first off, your Trump impressions, they're spot on, man. Like, scary good. You've got the hand gestures, the sniff, the believe me cadence. It's all there. I showed one of your clips to my mom the other day, and she's like, oh, my God, what's he doing on Instagram instead of, like, CNN or Fox, dude? This shit's hilarious, man. Hilarious. So you've gone viral like crazy lately, man. Millions of views, nonstop laughs, and you somehow make it look effortless, man. How long you been doing comedy?
So let's see that the end of next month will be 2 years.
Wow, not very long at all.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So how'd that get started for you? Did you just like recently discover that? I mean, you're hilarious as shit, man. And I love your live acts too.
I was actually a youth pastor for like 11 years. So the public speaking thing was that's kind of a hurdle for some people to get over, but I did it for so long that it doesn't bother me if there's, 4 people or 400 people or whatever. It's just, for some reason does not bother me. And, I always like to incorporate like humor when I was, doing like a message or whatever, or preaching or talking to young people or adults. And just as kind of like an attention keeping device, I have terrible ADHD, and so
same here.
I just treat everybody basically that I'm talking to like they have the same situation, and I got to keep their attention. So I would try to throw humor in there, and people would tell me a lot. They're like, you should be a stand-up comedian. I'm like, yeah, I don't really know how you do that. So I just, but I thought about it for a long time. I was like, I would love to. And I tried researching it, and whatever I was trying to look up was not bringing up anything, So they had like a talent show thing at the church. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it a try. And so I went up, and like these are people that had known me since I was in like 7th grade. And so they were all familiar with my personality and everything. So it worked out. I had no business being up there and doing what I was doing. I did like 13 minutes, which is way too long for the first time you wrote anything.
Right.
There's a lot of terrible segues but like I said, they all knew me, so it went well. And I was like, oh yeah, I just crushed that, and I was feeling a little too good about it. And we were planning me and another youth pastor were planning like a New Year's Eve lock-in. I don't know if you're familiar with what a lock-in is. It's basically you take the group to like the church or like a YMCA or something like that, and you lock the doors and you're there until the next morning. There's games and stuff all night, and it was for New Year's Eve. And we were planning. I said, hey man, I'm starting to do comedy, and I could probably do a little bit of comedy there. And he's like, oh, that'd be awesome. So I go in and I like kick the thing off, I'm going to be in this building with these people for the next 12 hours. Yeah. And the kids that I with me had already seen it, so they weren't paying any attention. And the kids from the other church were just the nicest kids in the world. And so I started in about how fat I am and all this stuff, and they just felt horrible for me the whole time. So I'm up there just dying on stage. and like someone literally at one point goes, "Oh," like that, and I'm like, "Ah, don't do that, you're killing me," and I'm just bombing horribly, and then I'm like trying to keep it together, and I get done, and I go to hand off the mic to the other pastor, and he goes, "I thought it was good, man," and I was like, "Ah." And like I said, I was stuck there with all those people for the next 12 hours. And New Year's Eve is my birthday, so it was horrible.
Oh
And
man.
I didn't touch it. I didn't touch it for another 3 years. And then
Oh really?
fast forward to a couple years ago, um, I just gone through a divorce. I had a big like identity crisis, you know. Um, wasn't I had stepped down from my position as a youth pastor to move to a different part of Ohio so we could be closer to my wife's family, and then you know, we split up, and I'm away from everybody I know and love. So I got a motorcycle to be able to go back and forth without a ton of gas. And then I wrecked that, and I was in all kinds of terrible shape. I'm 3 surgeries and all that stuff. I'm just depressed out of my mind. I'm punching a clock at a factory, and I'm like, I used to feel like I made a difference in this world, you know, because I had something I did and that I believed in, and now I'm just doing this. And I just kind of, you know, I'm not trying to push my beliefs on anybody or anything, but just what I did was I prayed that God would, you know, show me something, because I'm like, this ain't it, you know. And I realized that, you know, my humor is like always been there, and it's something that's very important to me. And that there's a lot of other people in the world that felt like I did then, or even worse. And it's a terrible world that we live in. And if I can go and give somebody an escape from that for like 5 minutes and make them smile, then that's what I want to do for the rest of my life. So I started back at it, started hitting some open mics. I figured out a way to make people not feel bad for me when I did the self-deprecating stuff. I kind of wrote some jokes that shaped that a little bit, and that was the beginning of it. And we haven't looked back since. I just had that tour through Pennsylvania, and then last night I did my first ever headline show, and
Awesome.
things are going well.
Wow, man. I can't even get my coffee machine to hook up to the Wi-Fi. You're out here killing algorithms, man. That's cool. So, bro, let's rewind a bit. Before you started making presidents funny again, where did that begin? Were you kind of like a class clown or guy who got detention for
Yeah,
impressions of your teachers? Like, how'd that happen?
so my dad's parents, like, very 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 good storytellers, and when they told a story, they imitated each person in that story. And I don't know if I just kind of caught on to that and was like, you know, kind of a natural thing. Um, but I always I always did the same kind of thing when I told stories. And then um, there's just some people that, like, for whatever reason, their voice or whatever kind of clicks in my head, and then I'm able to kind of. I was kind of bummed because I was working on Trump for a long time, and then he
Hmm.
wasn't the president anymore.
All
But
right.
that,
Oh, you were starting on him on the first term?
First term.
yeah, it worked out good for me that there was a little break in there, so I had a little extra time to work on it. Um, yes, I couldn't quite get it down, you know, and um, just it seemed like one day it kind of clicked, and I was doing like a TikTok live, and I was like, you know, I don't. My stance with comedy and politics is like, just don't put them together. Like,
Right.
people are going to believe what they believe. I'm not going to change their mind. They're not going to change my mind. I don't care who they voted for. They don't care who I voted for. And just
Right.
leave it at that, because you're going to alienate people that are listening to you and stuff. So I thought, uh, but I get pretty good at this impression, you know, and I'm not trying to offend anybody with it. I'm just trying to have a good laugh at the same thing. And so I was doing these TikTok lives, and there was this gift that they could send you called the popular vote. And I just started doing this thing where I was like, all right, if you win the popular vote, you got to gloat, you know? And so they would send that gift to me and I'd say, we did it again. We won the popular vote. They said it couldn't be done. They said you can't win the popular vote more than once in a day. We keep doing it. We're going to continue doing it. And then, so I would tell them, you know, send those in and then I'll do the impression.
Mm-hmm.
And what I realized was the people that hated him thought it was hilarious, and the people that loved him thought it was hilarious. And I was like, well, it's kind of a win-win then, you know?
Right.
Right. Yeah.
So then that's when that kind of caught on, and I realized that I wasn't gonna, like I said, I don't I don't want to dive into who anybody's voting for or anything like that, or whether I voted one way or another. I just assume not tell anybody, and they don't tell me. So, but it seemed like it was like an anomaly where people on both sides of it could laugh at it, and I thought that's that's what I'm trying to do. You know.
Yeah, for sure, man. Every comic's got that moment, right, where they realize, and we've had some, like I said, we've had some comics on here. You're the Second King. We had Simon King. You'd have to check him out too. He's pretty funny. We had, I don't know, have you met Grayson McGaha? He kind of floats around Instagram and TikTok and stuff a little bit too. But it seems
No,
like
I haven't.
everyone has that moment. So that was your moment, huh? Is during a TikTok live?
Yeah, yeah, that's where that kind of started. And I did write a little bit of material with it mixed in there, and
Mm-hmm.
I tried it in very red areas and I tried it in very blue areas, and they both responded well. So I was like, this is going pretty good, I guess. So I'd had this idea for a while. I was like, I don't know if I want to try and do it with like somebody else during stand up and have them say something and have me kind of translate it, or if I want to
Right,
make a
right.
video. And one day
Right.
I sat down with the little camera and I was like, let's just launch it and see what happens. And yeah, I've been posting stupid videos forever. And
Right.
I put that one up and it was just like a rocket ship. It just started. I'm like, holy, I might hit like 100,000 views on this, you know? And I'm like, I might hit 110,000 views on this, you know? And it was like, I kept looking at it. I'm like, and the next thing I know, it hit like 1 million. And that first one, I think
Dude,
today, I think I looked at that first one on Instagram. It's at like 24.1 million.
That's awesome.
that's insane, man. Dude, that's crazy. Good for
Yeah,
you, dude. I
pretty
like the
wild.
you do like RFK and other ones too, man. I was cracking up on some RFK
Yeah,
Jr. earlier too.
yeah, a little bit RFK. That one didn't quite take flight like the rest of them, but
Uh,
it did all right. And that one's yeah, honestly, that one's a little tougher on the old vocal cords. But I mean, not trying to make light of that. I know the guy got something that attacked his vocal cords, but like he does say some kind of off the wall stuff sometimes, and it,
Oh yeah.
you know, so,
Goes swimming it with his kids in toxic rivers. Yeah.
yeah, sometimes
Right. It's grandkids.
you gotta teach that immune system to respect you. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
dude, you got this crossover energy, bro. I mean, the boomers laugh, the Gen Zers are laughing. Gen X just sits there trying to figure out how to log in. When we're laughing our asses off. That's our people, man. VHS tapes, gas station, coffee, and sarcasm, dude. We can't get enough.
Yeah,
So
dude.
how many translations are you up to now for the old Trump translations?
I was just getting ready to post the eighth one today.
I was
So
gonna
that's
say, 'cause I've seen five, I think.
yeah.
Can you give us a little preview of what that one looks like?
This one I just I think I said I like golfing, and then I just kind of I just that one kind of wrote itself. It was pretty easy because Mar-a-Lago, and I think that's what I try to do an MAGA with whatever he's saying every time,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
so I ended that with that's why I'm going to Mar-a-Lago and golfing again. And that was, yeah.
Like, who were your inspirations growing up? Who's your favorite comic of all time?
Oh man, that's tough. As far as like I don't know, he's not really known for his stand up, but comedic acting and improv and stuff. Obviously, the late great Chris Farley is probably my
Oh
hero
yeah.
as far as that goes. And I'm a big fella as well, and I aspire to be as physical as he is one day.
Right.
That takes. I mean, he was just an anomaly. You know, he was an athlete, and he was big and fat and all that. But I mean, he could move and he could kick his legs up, do the splits and all kinds of crazy stuff. And he just like I was just watching the best of Chris Farley the other day, and that sketch where he was playing Rudy Giuliani's son.
Uh-huh.
Like he's like climbing up the podium and hanging on and all that stuff. I'm like, man, that's insane that he's all over the place like that, and he's that size, you know.
Oh yeah, I remember his Chippendales one he did too. That was
Yeah,
hilarious.
Patrick Swayze. Yeah.
Yeah, Swayze. And you know, Swayze's like, "Oh man, you're so awesome. I'm not worthy."
Yeah. They're having a hard time picking between the two of them,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
And then what it comes down to is they're both such wonderful, great dancers. It was so hard to pick, but you know, Barney, at the end of the day, you're just kind of fat or something like that.
So if Trump called you tomorrow and said, Matt, I want you to open up for me at Mar-a-Lago, what would you do?
Boy, that's a good question. I don't know. I feel like on one hand, I'd like to take any opportunity that I get for anything, but on the other hand, I'm like, I don't really want to look like I'm siding with one side or the other. I mean, it's like Switzerland, just neutral, and that way, like I said, I think if I can put out something that's going to make everybody laugh at it together, that's the product I want to continue to make. So I set up a Cameo and a Cameo account, and it's almost dead even down the middle. That half of them are, we hate Trump. Give us a video that's like this or that, and the other half is, we love Trump. Can you send us a video that does this? So I think the trick is I don't touch the policies. I don't touch any kind of stuff that's actually real. I just say something that sounds like something that he would say, and
right.
I'm not sure that I would actually go to to Mar-a-Lago and be on that side or the other side, either one.
It's only if he pays you monopoly money, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, if SNL wanted to give me a call, I'd probably pick it up.
Yeah, definitely.
I wouldn't
Yeah,
mind
you'd
that.
be perfect for that, man. You'd be perfect for that. So, like, so we know you got some merch and stuff, and you probably got some shows coming up. Where can people find your work outside of Instagram?
Yeah, just well, I have a TikTok account as well. That's the same as Instagram. It's just Matt.KingComedy. I put some stuff on YouTube and Facebook as well. And I think on YouTube there is no dot. It's just Matt King Comedy. And on Facebook, it's just my regular Facebook. It's just Matt King. But I got a couple of shows that I know are coming up. There's some other stuff that's kind of in the works still. I'll be in what's it called? Niles, Ohio, next month, which is a suburb of Youngstown, and then I'll be in Akron, Ohio, in tonight, pretty soon
wow.
actually. That was a surprise. I didn't know I was on it, and then and then I got the promo video on my Facebook account, and I said, "Oh, I'm on another show." Okay, well,
I guess I'm going there tonight.
yeah, it's for a good cause. So it's like it's like a recovery fundraiser, and I'm like, I'm not gonna turn that down. I don't want to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm also a part of a nonprofit organization that just started up. We're still getting some papers through with as far as like the nonprofit tax papers and stuff. We did our part. We're just waiting for the IRS to continue to take their good old sweet time. I get they're never in a hurry, but they want you to be. But it's a nonprofit organization that's putting on comedy shows and aimed at PTSD and suicide awareness in the first responder community. So our founder was a firefighter with the city of Canton, Ohio, for 20 plus years, and he was a survivor of a suicide attempt. Due to some good police work, they were able to de-escalate the situation and get him calmed down. And he went out to a place called the IAFF Center for Excellence, which is a specialty place for firefighters specifically that struggle with PTSD. And while he was out there, he realized that the best medicine for some of that stuff is good friends and just a place to laugh and let your hair down and just be able to feel safe to talk about things. And that's what we're aiming to do with that is create shows that cater to that community and provide that safe space to kind of, be with similar minded people and talk about things. And we're working on putting together some peer support stuff for the firefighters and stuff like that. And it's a really cool thing. It's very rewarding to be a part of. We've gone to some fire expos and stuff, and I was never a firefighter of any kind, but just seeing a big burly gray mustachioed man walk up to you that's was a firefighter for decades on end, telling you some of the stuff he went through, and then with tears in his eyes he says, "Hey, thanks for doing this, guys. This is something that we really need." It's like that's a great feeling to be a part of something like that. So we'll be here pretty soon. We're going to be popping up in shows all over the place.
What's one Joker impression that always kills live, but maybe bombs online? You ever get one of those?
A lot of the ones that do well live, sometimes they don't really get the response that I want online. I think it's just because I haven't. TikTok changes its algorithm like once a day, I'm pretty sure, and I can't figure out how to get attention to it. And sometimes people aren't looking for it, but I can't think of anyone specifically that doesn't work online if it works live. I've had plenty of jokes that did not work live that I wouldn't have even bothered to try to put online because it was miserable and horrible and embarrassing. But that's I when I was getting into comedy and I started writing a lot of jokes about my weight and stuff, because I'm like, it's the first thing you see when I walk up there. I may as well mention it myself. I was still kind of in that depressed phase. So I got a little bit dark with some of them. And there's people have a limit. You can only go so far with some of that stuff. And they're like, geez, man, I don't know, somebody give that kid like a hotline number or something. I'm worried about this. Doesn't feel good at all.
Yeah, you killed me on this one reel though. We'll throw it into the show here, man. Where you were up there and you kind of addressed the elephant joke, dude. You're like, let that sink in for a minute. You know what I mean? Like,
I weighed myself, all right? I weighed in at 444 pounds. Yes. That's what the scale said too. 444 is entirely too heavy. That's so heavy you start Googling the weights and things to see how you stack up against them. Don't do that, okay? I found out the average baby elephant's only 285. Let it sink in. Do you know how devastated I was when I realized that a full-grown adult elephant would die giving birth to me?
What's it take to write a joke about that and kind of lean into, I mean, that's kind of like a Chris Farley punk rock thing to do if you think about it,
Yeah. So that was there's an open mic up around Cleveland, Ohio. It's called One More Joke, and they run a different format than a lot of them. So they'll have several people that can do 5-minute sets, but then they'll have probably 30 people that just do a 1-minute set. And a 1 minute set is a great writing exercise because it's like you got to get right to it. And so I was going to go up there one night, and I was like, man, I want to write something and see if I can get it to work immediately. And so I'm trying to think where I started with that one. I had known for a while that the average baby elephant weighs 285 pounds. That's just a fact that you know when you're fat. And,
oh, man.
and so I knew that for a while, and I was like, I want to mix that in there somewhere. And I can't remember what it was. I think I was actually trying to start dieting, and it was just comical to me that I'm like, oh, good, I lost 15 pounds, and I'm still so fat. Like, I'm like, I got to write something about that, and that's where I got that. That's part of a 1 minute set where I just kind of said, you know, I'm going on a diet, and it's just kind of like when you leave a good job with benefits to go do your own thing. The boss is kind of like, you'll be back. Like, that's my body every time I eat a salad, you know. It's like, kid, you'll be back, you know. And I said I wanted to lose some weight because I like traveling. I'd like to fly somewhere on an airplane and not like a life flight helicopter, you know. So I weighed myself, and I weighed 444 pounds. And usually every time I say that, somebody will like whistle as though, you know. I'm like, that's right. That's entirely too heavy. That's so heavy. You start Googling the weights and things to see how you stack up against them. Yet you don't do that, because I found out the average baby elephant's only 285. And do you know how devastated I was when I found out that a full grown adult elephant would die giving birth to me? And then I took that and I tied that. That was the first one I tied in the Trump impression on. So it's funny that you brought that up. As I said, the extended version of that, I go, yeah, I've lost some weight, but my body doesn't even care. It's like there's still so much there. It was like when Trump started getting fined all that money, and it was like, hey, buddy, I lost like 15 pounds. What do you think about that? And it's like, frankly, I don't really care, Fatty. There's a lot more where that came from. You should try walking sometime. I walk all the time. I'm probably the greatest walker in history, greater than Walker, Texas Ranger. That's what the polls are saying.
Awesome.
Yeah,
and I love the just over the top, comments too. I think those are hilarious.
Yeah, dude, you just nail it, man. You nail it. How do you think Trump would do in a Common X interview? We're independent media, man. Given his relationship to independent media in a funny way, how do you think that would go?
If he was on your show right now, I think I know you know, love him or hate him, he loves attention. So if you're gonna put him out there, he's gonna come in there ready to rock and roll, I think. But if you especially if you give him a little bit of like a, what's the word I'm looking for? If you kind of butter him up a little bit, bring him on like, we know you're the greatest president. That's why we want you on. What's that?
Feed the ego a little bit.
Yeah. But and then he doesn't put up with a whole lot. He's going to turn on you if you turn on him. So if you're like, hey, we want you on here because you're the best president ever, I think he'd be like, okay, I'll be on there. And then you're like, so also I forgot to tell you, we don't like you. He'd be like, well, I hate you. You're a terrible person. You're a nasty person. Has anyone ever told you you're a real nasty person? That's probably why nobody's even watching this right now. That's what they're saying. Hey, don't take it from me. Look at the numbers.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Your ratings are low. Your ratings are in the toilet. All right, man. Here's something fun. We usually like to kind of wrap it up with what we like to call Jared's 5. How about on this one, we'll get you to answer them like President Trump. How about that?
All right, let's do it.
All
Awesome.
right, here's Jared's 5.
Jared's 5.
All right. So the way it works is we'll usually ask our previous guest questions for our next guest. So our last guest, his question to you, would you add 2 tablespoons of peanut butter to your bacon and eggs?
Yeah, that's a great question. I appreciate the question you asked there about the
The peanut butter and the bacon and eggs. I'm not sure why it mixes those two worlds together. I don't really eat bacon and eggs. I'm a McDonald's man. I don't know if you remember this. I worked there during the campaign. I was probably the greatest employee McDonald's ever had. I made the fries. Everyone said the fries are wonderful. They said, "How'd you do the fries like that?" I said, "I just did it. I'm a natural, you know."
That's awesome. Oh, that's great.
I had
All
to
right,
mute my mic.
yeah, same. All right, favorite movie of all time.
Obviously, I'm going to go with the ever popular Home Alone 2. I made an appearance in there. I helped a young man find his parents. He said, Where's the front desk?" I pointed right to it. He went over there. I was kind of the hero of that story.
I agree. That was awesome. All right. Favorite Saturday morning cartoon.
I got to go with the Wile E. Coyote. The Roadrunner, he was always running around. He was trying to catch him. The Coyote, he was always blowing himself up. He was falling off of cliffs and stuff like that. I feel like that's everybody trying to keep up with me. I'm always one step ahead of everybody, and I'm too smart for them.
That's awesome. All right. What's one thing people should know about you that maybe they don't?
The orange color is actually natural. I was born that way. A lot of people think I should the tanning bed or I do the spray tan or something. That's actually my natural coloration.
Oh, that's amazing. All right. If you if you could go back in time and tell your teenage self one thing, what would it be?
Continue to be as great as you are now. One day you're going to be running this country. I always knew I was going to run the country. I said, I'm going to run the country one day. And then the next thing I know, I'm running the country. We took a little break for a while. I played a little bit of golf down at Mar-a-Lago. I have a great place in Florida. It's called Mar-a-Lago. That's what we call it. We say we're going to Mar-a-Lago. We love Mar-a-Lago, but I'm running the country again, and I knew it. I said it when I was little, and I continued to do the great things I was doing. And look at me now. I've got a son named Barron. He's going to be great one day. He's 47 feet tall. We're very proud of Barron.
That's awesome. All right. Your question to our next guest.
All right, just any question?
Yep. Any question?
Whatever I want. Okay.
Yep.
Let's see. That one picture back in the day that was a dress, was it blue or the other color? They got to figure out what dress I'm talking. There was a viral picture that was two different colors. Depending on who you were, you saw one or the other. Yeah. I feel like the next guest has the true answer of what we should hold as gospel.
That's awesome. I love it.
Oh, man, he cracked me up. Stomach hurts, dude. Is that all the 5, Jared?
That's the 5, man. We worked through them.
Holy smokes. I had to have my mic muted like the entire time, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody. Make sure you check out Matt King Comedy on Instagram, TikTok, all the spots. Give the guy a follow, show some love, and tell him Common X sent you. Don't forget to hit commonxpodcast.com for all our latest episodes, gear, and giveaways, brands and partners that we love, where the Gen X that still gives a damn. Thanks for joining Common X.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, dude.
Hey, thank you, guys. Really appreciate it.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in today to the podcast, Common X with Jared and Ian. We really appreciate you guys and would love your support. So make sure you click that subscribe or like button or follow us on all our social media platforms and on YouTube and Spotify, because that would really help us out. And that helps us bring more episodes to you guys every week. And hopefully from, content that you guys want to see. So reach out, TikTok, YouTube, leave comments. If there's anything that you guys want to see or any guests that you want us to try and get on, let us know. We do have a good lineup coming. So thank you again. We love you guys. Thanks for your support. And we'll see you next time. And remember, common sense isn't that common. So that's why we're bringing common sense back from Generation X.